Hey guys, so today I have my fall nail polish collection roundup. I did one of these for spring and for summer. I'm basically taking all of the mainstream polish collections that I have reviewed and kind of giving my overall thoughts on the collections as a whole and a few of my favorites. I do have a bunch of dupes for all of the fall collections. I was gonna put that in this video, but there are so many of them. They're like all over here. There's so many of them that I think that it would be like a 40-minute video, and that's not really something I want to deal with. So I'm gonna do the dupes in a separate video at the end of this week or next week sometime, depending on when I get the chance to finish the swatches and everything. But I do have a dupes video for the mainstream fall collections coming up as well. So I am going to get right into it. I'm going to start with the Orly Mulholland collection, I think it was called. It's actually the first time I've reviewed Orly on my channel. I have quite a few Orly collections, but I've never actually reviewed them. So there were 6 polishes in this one altogether, and overall I really liked this one. I feel like Orly is kind of underrated just in general. They typically have pretty good formulas. Occasionally they throw some kind of like frosty thing in there that I'm not a big fan of. There were a couple that leaned more on the frosty side in this collection. This one, shoot. The sticker fell off this one. Let me look up my swatch and see what it's called. $1 Million Views was this one. It was a little bit brush strokey and frosty. And then Meet Me at Mulholland, which was like a copper flaky and a copper base. They both turned out, they were super pretty on the nail, but they were a little bit more on the frostier side. And I feel like Orly always throws something like that into each collection. But overall, this collection was really good, and I think it had a lot of good stuff for fall. This one, Hillside Hideout, was really unique. It was kind of a darker, rosy, pink color, but with a ton of gold shimmer to it. I liked this collection a lot as a whole. Was really impressed with this. I think this year in general was just a really, really good year for fall collections, and this one is included in that. So the China Glaze Rebel collection was their fall collection for this year. It had 12 polishes in it. I had quite a few that I really liked out of this. I had purchased these from an Instagram seller way back in like April, and the names were not even right on the bottles and the formulas were not fantastic. So I've totally learned my lesson about trying to get collections that early, because I don't think that they're like final batches and final names, and I'm just gonna end up giving out a bunch of wrong information. This set here was from 88 Beauty. I got rid of the advanced set that I had and stuck with a more recent one so I could get a better idea of how the polishes perform. There were 2 in here that really, really surprised me. Combat Blutes was one of them. The first time I swatched this, I was not expecting it to dry matte, and I had to I wasn't working fast enough with it. And it got really ridgy and really lumpy and uneven, so I had to take it off and do it again. But that time, once I knew I had to work really fast with it because it dries super, super fast, it turned out amazing. Like, amazing. It's this shimmery dark blue, but it dries matte, but somehow the shimmer still like stands out, and it doesn't even look real. It looks so, so nice. So I really, really liked that one. And then Pearl Jammin' was the other one that I really liked. It took 3 coats for this one to be completely opaque, but it is a light blue with a really strong gold shimmer. Super unique polish. Really liked this one. The whole China Glaze Rebel collection as a whole wasn't super unique. There were some glitters in there, which was nice because we didn't get any glitters from OPI or Essie, but we never really get glitters from Essie, so that's not surprising. So there were some creams and some shimmers in there. A few of these multi-chrome color shifting glitters that I'm kind of on the fence about. More creams. But I think it was a good collection overall. When you put out a 12-piece collection, this is really horrible to say, but I feel like when a mainstream brand puts out a 12-piece collection, you can't really expect them all to be hits. Like, I feel like I only get 1 or 2 hits out of the collection, and I'm just kind of meh about the rest of them. But those 2 were my favorite, and I think overall it was a pretty decent collection for fall. Not my favorite collection from fall this year. It actually might even be my least favorite collection from the fall this year. That doesn't mean it was bad, it just means there were a bunch of really good fall collections. Essie's fall collection this year was 6 creams. They were all Japanese inspired names. In general, they weren't super unique. You had your gray, your dark purple, your dark red. This light blue, which I actually thought would be really easy to dupe, but I could not find a dupe for this in my own collection, which surprised me. Everything was just a little bit too like pastel and like spring toned and bright, where this one was a little bit more muted. Couldn't find a dupe for that one. It was Udon No Mi. And then the other one that I really, really liked was Plain Koi, because it is a little bit more unique for an Essie collection, or just polishes in general, this super burnt rusty orange. I liked that collection. The formulas were all really good, but they were just, again, normal Essie creams. I would have liked some kind of metallic or shimmer or anything to throw in there and break up the 6 creams, because I got so many creams from OPI and I really liked the OPI ones better. So getting into the OPI collection, it was massive. There were 15 polishes and then there were 2 Ulta exclusives. I didn't talk about these in my swatch video because I didn't have them in time. So I'll go ahead and show you the swatches now. This one is a super dark green called Front Runner, and the other one is Politically Polished, which is a very dark brownie taupe color. Not super dark, but for like taupe colors in general, like this is Sephora by OPI's Metro Chic. This is considerably darker for being the same kind of tone. So those 2 were in there. I liked those, but they didn't stand out to me as favorites. Those are, like I said, Ulta exclusives. And I can't stop touching my hair because I haven't worn it down in like 3 months. Overall, there were only a few from this OPI collection that stood out to me as super unique colors, but the formulas on all of them were fantastic. So including the Ulta exclusives, there were 16 creams, and then Pale to the Chief, which was a light shimmery, almost like pearly shimmer nude. Like I said, a lot of colors here. Not a lot of them stood out to me as super unique, but the formulas were so good that it made up for it. In the New Orleans collection for spring for OPI this year, there were some fantastic cream formulas, just like, I can't even describe, they were so good. And these pretty much all fit that as well. The only one that I really had a little bit of an issue with was Never a Dullest Moment, which was this kind of, if you can have a pastel mustard yellow, that's what this is. And this one took 3 coats. It was a little bit difficult for me to even out, but I really liked the color, so it made up for it. And then I really liked all of these reddy brown colors as well. Freedom of Peach, Yank My Doodle, and Inside the Isabel Way. So the last of the fall collections, for the mainstream fall collections anyway, is Zoya. And this year Zoya did 12 polishes. They usually do 12 for summer and 12 for fall. The whole thing was the Urban Grunge collection, but there were the 1-coat creams, which is what I'm going to talk about first, and there were 6 polishes here. Nothing super unique, but they were actually 1-coat creams, which the summer they came out with 1-coat creams, but I wasn't able to get any of them opaque in 1 coat, and the lighter colors like the oranges and the pinks, I actually ended up almost having to do 3 and having to do 3 in the pictures, and it was kind of disappointing. These are all darker colors. They're a lot easier to make opaque in 1 coat, and they did a really good job. I'm trying to remember, it was one of these 2, or maybe both of them, Courtney and Tara. These reddy colors were a little bit more jelly-ish and not able to get completely opaque in 1 coat, but the rest of the creams were much more cream and opaque, and they were all 1-coaters. So that was a good one. But obviously the metallics and hollows section of the Zoya Fall collection is what really got me, because there were 6 polishes here. There were some foil metallics. There were 3 of them. This pinky one, purple, and then a kind of gunmetal gray one. These are all really pretty, and actually Ash really surprised me, because when I put it on my nails, it was like glowing, like way more than expected. Looked so much better on the nails than it did in the bottle, because I don't generally go towards these kinds of colors anyway. This one was amazing. But this year, Zoya finally did everyone a solid and came out with some new of their scattered holographics, which is my favorite finish that Zoya has ever made, my favorite kind of polishes that Zoya has ever made. Alicia was amazing. It's a silver and it has those little scattered holographics in it, so it is holographic, but they don't stand out quite as much as when you put those in with dark colors. But this also had a really strong gold shimmer to it. Beautiful. Really liked that one. Finley, when I first saw pictures of it, I thought it was going to look just like Zoya's Aurora, so I wasn't super thrilled with it. I have Aurora out here. But it ended up being darker and way cooler of a purple than Aurora is. And then the one that I was the most excited about was Merida, because I think everybody has been wanting a green version of the scattered holographics for a really long time, and Zoya finally delivered, so now I need to think up other colors that we can all press them on, so maybe we can get those next year. So that is the fall mainstream collection nail polish roundup. Again, I will have a dupes video up soon. I didn't want to include it in this one because there are so many polishes to go over. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later.